This is a Let's Talk Church Safety and Security microsode with your host, Paul Buckner.
Good morning, sheepdogs. So, interesting morning. On my way actually today to make the one and final total payment on the police academy, and I found out that the bank's hours lie. They lie. Lies. It says online that they open at 8. Turns out that's only the drive-through. That is some useful information. Yeah. Anyway, so wanted to talk just a little bit about an encounter I had the other day. I definitely have some interesting encounters, and it's one of those things that situational awareness can prepare ourselves. We can prepare ourselves for things. Forewarned is forearmed. And I saw a comment the other day, I'm going to butcher this, but it was talking about how situational awareness can buy us the precious seconds to prepare for whatever, to evade it, to get law enforcement on the way or whatever. And what happened the other day, it was a real mild thing, it wasn't like earth-shattering, but I pull up to a gas station and I'm going to get a cup of coffee. A lot of times I'll stop there and go to the bathroom, and as I'm walking in the front door, guy pulls up in another vehicle. He's a passenger, and he gets out and he's yelling in the vehicle, turns around and he's yelling back into the vehicle. So I pause, I look, it's two males, they look like their father and son, and there seems to be some kind of an argument. And no violence, doesn't seem like there needs to be any law enforcement on the way, and I don't inject myself into situations like that. Myself's plural. Don't listen to my other personality, he's crazy. And so one thing being another, I go on into the gas station, and I just kind of kept an eye on the guy. He walked in and he makes a beeline for me. Well, I already know that he's angry, and so I turn my body as I'm getting my coffee. Now I've got something hot, ready to hand. And so he immediately wants to talk to me about the fact. He goes, he's like, my son and I have this argument going on, and maybe you can help settle it. And I was like, okay. I don't want to engage, but in some kind of situation like that, sometimes it's best just to let a little bit of pressure off. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'm telling my son that the price of bread has not changed in 20 years, that bread is no more expensive today than it was 20 years ago. And I'm thinking, yeah, it is. And he's like, so, and I just kind of, gently tried to exit from the conversation, because I realized the guy's probably high, and he's also very likely mentally unstable on his own, even without chemical assistance. And so he actually started it the other direction, and he's like, so has the price of bread gone up in the last 20 years? And I was like, yeah. You used to be able to buy very inexpensive white bread for under $1. And he's like, I'm just telling you, I told him that the price of bread doesn't go up, and the reason that the price of bread hasn't gone up in the last 20 years is it's in the Apocrypha. And he just starts down this road, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now, fortunately, I kind of took a loop down around through the back of the store and kind of came back up, and I deliberately broke contact. He was talking to himself and kind of off to the side, and by the time I got up to the register to pay to leave, non-event.
If you enjoyed this microsode, check out the video and audio versions of the Let's Talk Church Safety and Security podcast.